nag-decide na sana ako sa ibang bansa pero umuwi ako. Pero for a man in uniform to call me makapili, that's insulting. Yun lang, sir.
As what the chairman, General Acob, knows, we have the honor code among the Cadet Corps Armed Forces of the Philippines. I was charged of cheating with other seven of my...
Anong... Kinasuhan ka ng cheating! Anak ng tokwa! Yan ang problema pagka nagkupso kayo sa social media kagaya nitong si Jay Tariela. Ngayon, sinisingil na ho siya sa mga kabalbalang pinagsasabi niya sa social media. Mantakay mo namang tawaging makapili itong si Prof. Malutikia. Ito to sa totoo lang ha. Itong si Prof. Malutikia, isa ho siya sa mga pwede nating tawaging opposition. Pero sa pagiging opposition niya, sa pagko-call out niya sa administrasyon na to, napaka-factual ho niya. Hindi ho siya basta-basta bumibira pagka walang, hindi ho binabakapan ng ebidensya. Yan ho si Prof. Malutikia. Kaya para tawagin mong makapili, ang si Prof. Malutikia, ba talaga magkakaproblema tayo dyan? Kahit ako, makakalaban mo dyan, Jay Tariela. Pero bago ang lahat ng yan, isang like at isang subscribe. Masaya na ho tayo dyan sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community. Yung join button, nandyan lang po sa baba. Ayun na nga mga kababayan, harapan hong sinopla nitong si Prof. Malutikia, itong si Commodore Jay Tariela. Nakaugnay ho, doon siya nangyaring interview nitong si Prof. Malutikia at ng iba pang mga vlogger sa isang istasyon o isang pahayagan sa China. Interview pa lang kagad makapili na. Ganyan ho kung makapag-akusa, yaang ogag na yan. Ay, si Jay Tariela, gigigilo talaga tayo. Ang dami yung kabalastugang ginawa ho niya sa social media. Ang dami yung pinapakalat na kung ano-ano yan, kung ano-ano ng mama na yan. Basically, yan ho propagandist ng mga Amerikano sa joke lang kayo, no? Baka maniwala si Jay Tariela, sabihin, pinapakalat ni PH Update, propagandist daw ako ng Amerikano. Hindi na. Naratibo na lang ng Amerika ang sinusulong niya diyan sa pagiging spokesperson niya diyan sa ano tawag dito diyan sa West Philippines Sea. Ayun na nga mga kababayan sa mga baguhan lang dito sa PH Update. Nako, 700 na ho. Sa 760 na ho tayo. Maraming salamat sa mga nag-subscribe, sa mga nakalipas nating video. At sa mga hindi pa ho nakasubscribe, ano pa naman ho bang hinihintay nyo? Click nyo lang ho yung subscribe button dyan sa baba. Heto na ho mga kababayan, rekta na ho tayo dito kay Prof. Malutikia. Pakinggan ho natin ang kanyang mga punto de vista. Kaugnay nga dyan sa pagdalo nitong si Jay Tariela dyan sa TRICOM. Ito ho, pakinggan ho natin ito mga kababayan.
Kasi na mga ganyan para hindi ako apektado.
Yung?
Yan ang ako. Yes, Madam Tikia.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to, with the indulgence of the chair and the members, I also take exception to what the Commodore has labeled me as being makapili.
Nako.
In my testimony the first time, I said I am not pro-China, I am pro-Philippines. But I'm not makapili. He labeled several people as being makapili. And ako po'y apo ng isang guerrilla. So I took offense on that and I stopped following him. Ang nangyayari ho kasi reverse ngayon Pag ang tao nasa gobyerno, nililabel ka as being makapili, just like that. And you know the reason, Mr. Chairman, why he called me makapili? I had an interview with a Chinese journalist. That doesn't make me makapili. That doesn't make anyone makapili. So, wag sana po natin dadalhin yung usapan sa kune-question yung katauhan ng tao. That's why I never followed him. I used to follow him. I used to question him. But after labeling me as makapili, na hindi po, alam na alam ng karamihan ng kaibigan ko, ako nag-decide na sana ako sa ibang bansa, pero umuwi ako. Pero for a man in uniform to call me makapili, that's insulting. Yun lang, sir.
Problema yung mga banat. Yan ho kasi problema dito kay Jay Tariela. Buga ho siya ng bunga sa bunganga niya. Ngayon pagka sinasagot ho siya, todo deny ho siya sa mga bagay na sinasabi niya naman ho. Paano matatawag na makapili itong si Prof. Malutikia? Sino pa bang tinawag niya? Si Ma'am Sastrogando Sasot? Sino pa? Yung iba pang mga vlogger na pinatawag din dyan. Tinawag ho niyang makapili. Ngayon, sinisingil na ho siya. Tignan niyo ho mga kababayan, magpapanik. Itong si Jay Tariela, dyan sa mga banat na yan, itong si Prof. Malutigi. Game.
Any statement, Commodore?
Yes, sir. The Global Times is the known propagandist of the Chinese government.
Ito naman. Jay Tariela is the known propagandist of America. Joke lang. Ikaw naman. Masyado pa. Biro lang naman eh. Yun lang naratibo ng Amerika ang sinusulong mo sa West Philippine Sea. Joke lang. Hindi. Huwag ka masyado masaktan. Baka masaktan ka naman. Sabi mo, fake news.
If you're going to look at those personalities na in-interview ng Global Times, you're going to doubt what is the objective why such personalities are being interviewed. If you're going to look at the posts of those people who were interviewed and who gave comments about our fight in the West Philippine Sea, I think that's where I'm getting that kind of assertion. Again, this is just an opinion, but those opinion is guarded on what I have seen so far in their social
So yung opinion ko na, ang dating parang propagandista ng Amerika, protektado ako kasi opinion ko lang naman yun. Base sa nakikita ko, ganun lang. Ganun ho ba yun, Jay Tariela? Joke lang. Ikaw na.
media posting about how they reacted on our responses in the West Philippine Sea, about how they downplayed the level of aggression that the armed forces of the Philippines and the Philippine Coast Guard is experiencing in the West Philippine Sea, not to mention the abuses of the Chinese Coast Guard against the Filipino fishermen in Bajo de Masinloc. I am not labeling anybody as makapili unless you're going to support and toe the line for our fight in the West Philippine Sea. Ang laban po natin sa West Philippine Sea requires amplification of truth and factual narrative. Let us not distort the messaging of the Philippine government. Ang laban po
Walang nagdi-distort. Walang nagdi-distort. Tayo, suportado natin ang laban na yan. Pero linawin natin sa ating mga kababayan na hindi lang China ang kalaban natin sa mga pinag-aagawang bato-bato dyan sa South China Sea. Hindi. Linawin ho natin, hindi lang ho China ang kalaban natin. Kung nanggigigil tayo sa China, manggigil din tayo sa Taiwan, manggigil din tayo sa Vietnam, manggigil din tayo sa Indonesia, manggigil din tayo sa saan pa ba? Yan, yung mga bansa na yan, dapat panggigilan din natin yan. Hindi lang ho China. Lahat ho dapat, wala ho tayong sisinuhin. Kasi nang sinisino nyo yung ibang mga bansa, di nyo binabanggit eh. Ang focus lang kalaban China. Kalaban, focus China. Nandyan ang Taiwan, nandyan ang Vietnam, nandyan ang Indonesia, nandyan ang Thailand. Nandyan ho yung mga kalaban na yan. Meron din silang claim dyan. Ba't China lang ang focus natin? Para hindi kayo mapaghalata na naratibo ng Amerika ang ipinapakalat nyo dyan sa West Philippine Sea na yan. Dyan sa South China Sea na yan. Okay? Linawin natin. Isa-isahin natin yung mga bahura na pinag-aagawan. Tignan natin kung sino lahat ng bansa na may claim doon sa mga bahura na yon. Inisa-isa na ho natin yan mga kababayan. Pinakita ho natin dito sa PH Update na kada isang bahura dyan o bato-bato, minsan ang may claim 6. Minsan ang may claim 4. Nandyan ang Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, China. Yan ho, ganun ho karami minsan yung mga claimant sa isang bahura. Pero dahil nabanggit ang China, ini-emphasize lang ho, pinopokus lang ho ng Philippine government yung puro China. Paano naman yung ibang bansa? Meron silang free pass na mang-agaw doon sa mga bahura natin dyan sa South China Sea. Ganun ho ba yon? May nagkakaroon sila ng free pass kasi focus lang natin, China. Ayusin ho natin yung naratibo. Parang hindi ho tayo magmukhang propagandist ng Amerika. Yun lang naman hong atin dyan.
po ng West Philippine Sea, hindi lamang po ito laban ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Laban po nating lahat ito bilang Pilipino.
Wow. Ang laban ni Bongbong Marcos, Brad, kung anong gusto ng Amerika, yun ang ibinibigay niya. Ikaw naman. Susuportahan namin yung laban na yon. Pag bagong EDCA site, ganon. Huwag mo kaming tangahin. Yan ang problema sa ating mga Pilipino. Huwag ho kayong magpauto sa mga sinasabi ng mga politikong kagaya nitong si Jay Tariela. Ano na ho yan politiko na ho yan mga kababayan. Kausap po niya si Marcos Jr., si Tambaluslo, sa iba pong matataas na opisyal sa ating pamahalaan. Kaya mag-ingat ho kayo sa mga naririnig nyo dyan sa mama na
I agree with you. But that doesn't give you the right to label people unless you have concrete pieces of evidence. When you label people wrongly, they're committing a crime. Would you agree with that, Commodore?
Yes, sir. I definitely agree. And that's why I'm looking into my social media, whether I clearly identified Ms. Maluti
Yan. O ngayon, tinitingnan mo social media mo kung tinag mo talaga na makapili itong si Prof. Malutikia. Ngayon, hindi mo na tinag. Walang yaka
Kia
talaga. Oo.
as a makipili.
Sir, you tagged me. That's why I stopped following you.
Yan.
And that
Oo,
was,
ano?
sir, Mr. Chairman, that is one interview. I received invites for interviews, whether political, whether campaigns, and that is one. How can you label me without knowing me first? That's my point. Being makapili in your time and the time, it's something that we hold dear. We do not want to be labeled makapili. But he readily labeled me with one interview. That doesn't define me. That doesn't define my belief in the Philippines and on South China Sea. At Commodore, ang laban ho sa South China Sea, nagsimula pa yan noong unang-una pa.
Mr. Chairman,
Hindi
point of
lang
order,
ngayon.
Mr. Chairman.
Sandali.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Oh, yan. Linekturan ka niya. Linekturan ka ni Prof. Malutikia. Hindi lang ngayon ang laban natin dyan sa West Philippine Sea, dyan sa South China Sea na yan. Nung panahon pa ng Ama ni Bangag, laban na yan. Matagal na maraming dispute dyan, hindi naaayos dahil maraming bansang nakikialam. Maraming bansa na wala na dapat pakialam dyan, umi-extra sila dahil meron din silang interes. At hindi naman nila sinusulong yung interes natin. Sinusulong nila yung kanilang mga interes, kagaya ng Amerika na kaibigan nitong si Tariela.
Kaya nga po, nagkakaroon ng hearing na ganito dahil nagiging problema na natin yung fake news Otherwise, this issue would not reach Congress. Ako nga, to tell you frankly, yung mga anak ko ang nagsabi sa akin, smile at nakipagkamayan lang ako kay Honorable Franz Castro. Nililabel na ako na friendly with the left. O nag-high five. Anak ko ang nagsabi, no?
Ibig sabihin, left talaga itong si friendly with the left. Oy, Franzo, left daw.
Dahil hindi ako nagbabasa ng ganyan Sayang lang yung oras.
Oh, yan. Tama naman yan.
Kasi I need to discern whether the news presented there are true or not. And that would need time for me to discern or to find out, to validate whether it's true or not. So, never mind. It's just a waste of time. Yun ang aking paningin dyan. That's why I'm not affected kung ano man ang sinasabi. Kaya nangingiti na lang ako pag naiinis si Honorable Marcoleta pag sinasabi na traitor siya. Anyway,
Chairman, just, I will not anymore raise a point of order, but this is just a reminder to all the members, to all the resource persons. In the hearing, any hearing, we do not allow that exchanges of, Mr. Chair, exchanges of accusation against, from one resource person to another.
Ano lang naman, ang OA mo naman, para pinag-uusapan nga yung fake news. Ikaw naman, oo. Meron lang nasabi itong si Prof. Malutikia na sinabihan din siya ng ganong. Ibig sabihin, pinapakita lang na merong track record yung mama na yan, itong si Tariela, na kung ano-ano sinasabi sa social media. Pero yung pagiging tuta ng Amerika nitong ni Tariela na sinasabi natin, joke lang yun. Kayo naman, baka umiyak na naman yan. Iyakin niya si Tariela Hindi joke lang yun. Yung sinasabi nating yung naratibo ng Amerika ang sinusulong ni Tariela dyan sa South China Sea. Joke lang yun.
We have a different venue for that. And with due respect to Ma'am Malu, Ma'am, sorry po kasi ganito yung rules natin, no? It's between the good Commodore and of course the issue raised by Congressman Marcoleta. Now, we should not attack resource person to that person and attack statements coming from the resource person mismo. Thank you po, Mr. Chairman. Thank you po.
thank you. Before I give the floor back to the Honorable Marcoleta, let me recognize the presence online of the Honorable Maria Rachel J. Arenas. Magandang hapon po. Yes, Honorable Marcoleta, please proceed.
Colonel,
Commodore.
okay. Commodore,
Ay, di ba pala tapos si Kong Dante?
you graduated from the Philippine Military Academy?
No, sir.
I'm 3 weeks short of my graduation.
Nangyari. Ba't 3 weeks short? Drop out ka, ganon?
Would you like to say, or you would like to explain why you did not succeed in graduating from that great military academy?
Yes, Mr. Chair. As what the chairman, General Acob, knows, we have the honor code among the Cadet Corps Armed Forces of the Philippines. I was charged of cheating with other
Hoy!
7 of my...
Kinasuhan ka ng cheating? Anak ng tokwa. Yang tagapagsalita natin, kinasuhan ng cheating. Sa Philippine Military Academy. Naku, mandaraya. Mandaraya, yes.
my classmates, and it was a gentleman's agreement. If you violate the honor code, you formally file your resignation, and then you just leave, sign the clearance, and get out of the Philippine Military Academy. And that's 3 weeks before my graduation, sir. I never insisted because I respect the honor code.
O baka totoo na cheating talaga. Hindi ka na kumontra kasi totoo. Mukha mo pa lang mandurugas na eh. O mga kababayan, comment nyo sa baba. Hindi mo ba mukhang mandurugas tong si mukha na yan? Tingnan ko naman. Anak ng toko, mukha pa lang. Mukha ng pera. Anak ng toko.
But did you violate the honor code?
Yes, sir, we did. That's why I resigned for the good of the service.
Okay, but that's not my question. We need to defend our exclusive economic zone with all our might and with all our life, because it is ours. Hindi lamang yung EEZ, merong continental shelf, territorial sea and all this. These are maritime rights, which even the UN Convention of the Law recognizes. We had an award, yung arbitral award between the Philippines and China, and the subject matter is the South China Sea. You know that,
Yes,
sir. In that particular award, the tribunal ruled that the Scarborough Shoal is a traditional fishing ground.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you studied that. Traditional fishing ground proceeds from the traditional fishing rights, or TFR, which is a private right fully recognized under public international law.
Yes,
You
sir.
agree?
Traditional fishing ground.
And in that award, the tribunal said, well, the Vietnamese, the Chinese, and the Filipinos can freely fish in that area because it is a traditional fishing ground. Mr. Chair, I think the good Commodore and the rest of the agency that is bound to protect our fishermen could have started along that line. Because a traditional fishing right is a private vested right. It does not concern territory. Sa aking palagay, Mr. Chair, mas maging magandang simula yun. Let's talk to China. And I believe China will recognize the traditional fishing right. Because in the year 2000, I will remember that they had an agreement with Vietnam in the Gulf of Tonkin. If you will study that. Nagkaroon sila ng agreement, and they divided that fishing ground among themselves. Something that we can also do para hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng girian. Pinag-uusapan lang naman dyan are the living resources in this particular area. Bakit hindi po natin binibigyan ng emphasis? Why don't we initiate something positive along that line? We had the tribunal ruling. Sabi niya, it is a traditional fishing ground.
Yan. Ititwist na naman yan. Makikipag-usap sa China. Pro-China na kagad. Ganyan ho sila. Ganyan ho yung si Jay Tariela. Ganyan ho yung mga mainstream media. Ititwist na naman yung sinasabi na yan ni Congressman Rodante Marcoleta para, gusto nyo makipag-usap, makipag-diplomasya. Siguro pro-China kayo. Yan ho ang problema dyan sa usapin na yan. Ayaw ho nila ng diplomasya, puro gulot. Gera gusto nilang mangyari dyan sa issue ng South China Sea na yan.
Bakit hindi natin sila kausapin on that basis? Marami tayong jurisprudence, international jurisprudence. In 1974,
pag-aralan po ninyo, Mr. Chair, yung mga maritime cases that was ruled by the tribunal. Yung case ng Federal Republic of Germany against parang Holland, and also Great Britain against Holland. Yung alam po ninyo, yung ruling is the same. Kahit siya yung merong reference do sa sea na yun, it cannot exclude the rights of the other coastal areas to fish sapagkat they invoke the traditional fishing right. I am asking, Mr. Chair, why no initiative has been taken along that line?
Mr. Chair? Yes, sir. To Honorable Marcoleta, it's beyond my pay grade to explain why our strategy is not in alignment with that fishery agreement in Bajo de Masinloc. And it's also worth mentioning that the Philippine Maritime Zones Act highlighted that Bajo de Masinloc and its territorial seas, we have sovereignty and sovereign rights over these waters. So on our level, in the Philippine Coast Guard, we cannot go against to the enacted law of the Congress, much more to the national security and foreign policy direction of the President.
I am not saying that it is within your pay grade to discuss it with the Republic of China. What I'm saying is maybe because you are a member of the Philippine Coast Guard, you could have talked to the other agencies of government higher than you that we could be initiating this along this line. Because we can take advantage of that particular tribunal's decision. Hindi ba? Pwede naman natin gamitin yun eh. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, ang daming cases, maritime cases, disputes ruled by the same tribunal. Ito, gamitin natin because they're all involved traditional fishing rights. Yung arbitral award natin, sinabi nga that the Scarborough Shoal is a traditional fishing ground. So sinasabi ko lang, pwede tayong mag-initiate along this line because we are backed up by the award. And another, Mr. Chair, have you read the entirety of the UNCLOS?
Not the entirety, sir. I won't pretend that I have, even if I read, I'm not a lawyer. I have a PhD in international relations, but I'm not a legal person. So I won't claim that I fully comprehended the contents of the entire UNCLOS.
Understood. Okay, so what about the aspect of that particular UNCLOS document that relates to the particular maritime area that is now called South China Sea? The South China Sea is a semi-enclosed sea. Did you find in the UNCLOS the significance of a semi-enclosed sea? I think it is under Article 123 of the UNCLOS. Kung tinatanong ko lang, sir, kung nabasa mo lang.
Mr. Chair, I'm not the proper resource person to respond to this kind of question, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, because I am raising that particular issue because if the most responsible agency will look at it, there is a connection on how we should approach the entire problem because the entire South China Sea is a troubled sea. Kaya dapat inaaral natin, saan kaya tayo magsisimula? Ano kaya ang magiging basihan sana natin to approach this issue? Because if you will look into the definition of a semi-enclosed sea, which is under Article 123, makikita natin doon, Mr. Chair, na yung palang mga coastal states, kasi tingnan po ninyo, imagine it, on the north, nandun po yung China, on the east, nandun ang Philippines, on the west, nandun ang Vietnam, southern part, nandun ang Malaysia. Kaya, at meron din Taiwan on the north. Kaya tinawag po siya sa UNCLOS, Mr. Chair, na semi-enclosed sea. What is the significance of the semi-enclosed sea? Sinasabi po ron, pagka po yung body of water is a semi-enclosed sea, lahat po ng coastal states has the responsibility to coordinate, to cooperate in the exploration, the research, development of that area. We can utilize that as the cornerstone of our defense na. Oh, sinasabi pala rito dapat cooperative ang approach. Hindi sa'yo yan. Kasi even in the description of the sea, tayo-tayo dapat nagko-cooperate. So, sinasabi ko lang ito, Mr. Chair, because of the complications and the complexities of the South China Sea. Kaya po, kahit na konti lang ang panahon, gusto kong makakontribute na ito po ang dapat nating pagsikapang aralin. So maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair, sa inyong pasensya sa akin na medyo nagtagal para ipaliwanag lang ng konti, alang-alang po sa pagkaunawa nating lahat. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next interplate is the Honorable Raul Manuel.
Naku, ito si Raul Manuel na to. Si Raul.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Itong bata na to. Wala naman hong kwenta tong batang si Raul Manuel. Ano muna natin, yung pag-usapan naman natin, yung pagpunta ng nitong sila Attorney Torion, nitong si Attorney Dergra, dyan sa Supreme Court para indeklarang unconstitutional at void yung impeachment laban dito kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Pakinggan ho muna natin itong mga kababayan at magbigay ho tayo ng ating reaksyon dito sa napakainit na usapin na to ngayon sa social media. No? Ito, pakinggan ho natin to.
For certiorari prohibition with prayer for preliminary injunction and TRO against the impeachment complaint filed against the Vice President Sara Duterte. This is based on constitutional as well as legal grounds. We feel that the impeachment complaint is constitutionally deficient. It is a violation of pertinent constitutional provisions, and it is likewise jurisdictionally void, and the same should be dismissed and not entertained by the Senate of the Republic of the Philippines. That in essence is the foundation of our complaint.
Why defective at all?
It is very defective because first, it did not consider the 3 priorly filed impeachment complaints. It did not likewise consider due process to the Vice President, and it did not also follow the constitutionally prescribed verification process. And because of these 3 and other grounds, the impeachment complaint should be dismissed and not entertained, rather. The verification process requires that it should be personally known, the allegations are personally known and studied by the respective congressman who signed it. And if you notice, the congressman who went there did not even know as to the subject matter of the discussion in the House caucus. And there was only around 3 hours between 12 o'clock to 3:15 before it was included in the additional House business reference. And by that time, we feel and we have reasons to believe that some of the congressmen were not even able to peruse the complaint as well as assess the evidences attached in the impeachment complaint. And therefore, this is defective. The verification requirement has not been complied with. And more importantly, there were 3 priorly filed impeachment complaints and which were not acted upon in the Constitution. Specifically, Article 11, Section 3 thereof mandates that upon receipt of the impeachment complaint, the same should be included in the House in the order of business within 10 session days, and thereafter the Speaker should have referred it to the Committee on Justice within 3 days. And these are mandatory provisions which were not followed by the House of Representatives. And why? Because Francisco versus House of Representatives mandates that if an impeachment complaint is already referred to the Committee on Justice, the 1-year bar period shall operate. And if the 3 complaints were entertained, included in the order of business within 10 session days, and included within 3 session days in the Committee of Justice, referred to the Committee of Justice, then the 1-year bar rule would have operated, and the fourth impeachment complaint should not have been legally entertained.
Attorney, gaano po tayo confident na magkakaroon po ng TRO, especially po na may arguments na same equal branch po ang SP and Congress?
Well, it's up to the Supreme Court, but we pray that the Supreme Court will grant our prayers.
Ayun na nga mga kababayan, sa tingin ho natin, merong basihan niyang petition na yan. Kahit tignan lang ho natin noong in-impeach itong si Vice President Sara Duterte dyan sa House of Representatives, 215 signature. Yung iba daw, balita natin, wala man sa Pilipinas. Kaya talagang trinabaho ho ng Senado yung pag-check doon sa mga pirma kung wet o dry signature ang ginawa ho nilang paglagda diyan sa impeachment na yan. Kasi pagka dry signature, hindi ho pala hindi ho pala pwede yun. Dapat wet signature ang gagawin kasi manunumpa ho kayo diyan sa sa harap ng Secretary General bago kayo pumirma na talagang nabasa at napag-aralan nyo yung impeachment na yan laban dito kay VP Sara. Mantakin nyo yun mga kababayan, sa loob lamang ho ng ilang oras nakalikom ho sila ng 215 signature na kung saan kumbaga next to impossible na mabasa ng 115 katao yung mga grounds for impeachment na laban dito kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Napakarami yung questionabling galaw ang ginawa ng House of Representatives diyan sa impeachment niya. Kaya tayo ho'y naniniwala, dapat ho talagang makialam ng Supreme Court diyan sa usapin na yan. Pero kung hindi makikialam ang Supreme Court, aabot tayo sa impeachment trial. Wala naman hong problema yun dahil sigurado ho tayo na matatayuan ho nitong si Vice President Sara Duterte lahat ng aligasyon at sigurado ho tayo meron hong sapat na mga kontra-argumento ang defense panel laban dito sa mga gawa-gawa o yung mga paninira ng prosecution panel laban dito kay Vice President Sara Duterte. So always, maraming salamat po sa pagsuporta sa PH Update. Para dito kay J. Terriela, sa susunod, huwag ka kasi masyadong mag-cooks para hindi naiipon yung mga kabalbalan sa social media. Maraming salamat po mga kababayan. Mag-ingat po kayo lahat. Mahalin natin ang Pilipinas.